Good day, everyone, and welcome to the world of the International Fab Talks. As usual, we are back again. We have wonderful celebrities and guests joining us from different parts of India as well as the world. When they share their time with us, the sole intention is to inspire the younger generation, to create confidence in the middle-aged group, and as well as to make the senior citizens feel good about their lives, that their lives also matter. When people of repute join us to share their experiences and bond with us, it's a moment of joy. It's a day of happiness. And of course, it is a great privilege for each one of us. So we would love all the viewers to derive a lot of inspiration from what has been shared every single day on the International Fab Talks. Today, we have a wonderful guest. He's joining us all the way from Chennai, Tamil Nadu. He's none other than Mr. Srikanth. Hello, sir, and thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you very much for taking out some time.
Hi, it's nice to be here on International Fab Talks, and I'm looking forward to sharing thoughts.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much. I go ahead and share your profile in a detailed way, and then we begin the session.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Dear friends, there are no strangers in our lives. Only friends we have not met before. This is a beautiful quotation that sir loves to always focus on. So then there are so many strangers in the world, and they're not strangers. They are our friends. We haven't yet met them. And that's a beautiful way to begin this session. So today, I don't know who sir is, but sir has become a person who's going to be our friend for life, maybe, because he's going to share a lot with each one of you. So when he shares and empowers you in the right way, he becomes a friend or she becomes a friend for life. So I go ahead and share sir's profile. Mr. S. Srikanth, a management consultant, has a brilliant academic record. Like many of us are not good at studies, but sir, he says he has a brilliant academic record, and that is really great. And he has been very consistent with regard to connecting with studies. He has always been a consistent rank holder in every professional exam he has written. That's really great. Many of the youngsters should derive inspiration from this great personality who is in front of us. You should excel in all the exams that you attempt, no matter where you are, in which part of the world. He is also the Master of Science in Management Systems. Let me put that right. He has also pursued Master of Science in Management Systems from BITS Pilani. That's really great. Mr. Srikanth is a versatile trainer and a facilitator as well. He has addressed more than 2,500 workshops across the globe, and he has been enabling more than 25,000 executives, professionals, and students to be the better version of themselves on the professional and personal front. He has handled similar workshops for various organizations, to name a few: Ashok Leyland Limited, Bharat Earth Movers Limited, E.I.D, Parry India Limited, Hyundai Motors India Limited, Indian Oil Corporation Limited, Larsen and Toubro Limited, Lucas TVS Limited, Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, etc. He is a certified executive coach from the Coaching Foundation of India. He has coached and mentored several corporate executives and professionals to achieve their full potential and realize whatever they need to do in that organization and fulfill their organizational duties and responsibilities in a very right way or in the accurate way. Apart from that, sir also focuses on personal goals and enable them to be happy family members as well as contributors to their organization. Mr. Srikanth is very active with regard to other activities as well. For example, he's a very active Rotarian, and at the same time, he is a Freemason as well. He is a Toastmaster. This is also very great. I really love to connect with Toastmasters because they have a lot of challenging times where they have to go through a lot of ups and downs to become a Toastmaster. And if he has excelled as a Toastmaster, that's really nice. We are happy to have him here and share his journey. He has been awarded the Advanced Communicator Recognition by Toastmasters International USA. So another feather in his cap, that's really great. He is the member of the Theosophical Society. His area of interest is comparative study of ancient Indian wisdom and modern management thought. So that's really great. A versatile person in front of us with several experiences and many feathers in his cap. Let's get to know more about his journey directly from him. Join us, friends, if you would love to be empowered by the right kind of people on the International Fab Talks. Dear sir, thank you so much for being a part of our journey. I've shared something from my end, but we all would love to know who is the real Mr. S. Srikanth. Over to you, sir.
Okay, let's begin at the beginning. My father was a chartered accountant. Therefore, by compulsion, I needed to, not compulsion, somewhere I felt that I should become a chartered accountant for career-wise. Now, this happened sometime in 1985. Okay. And in 87, I completed my CA with 2 All India ranks in inter and final. When I was 21 years old, I became a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. I joined Price Waterhouse. Now it's called Price Waterhouse Coopers. So Price Waterhouse, I was an audit manager for about 3 years. Then I started my practice as a chartered accountant. Now it's very funny. The profile that you read was a trainer's profile. How did this? I mean, imagine I am a chartered accountant, and I was always a chartered accountant. How did this chartered accountant become a corporate trainer? That is possibly my story, because I am sure you met a lot of chartered accountants, you met a lot of corporate trainers, but this is the first time you are meeting a chartered accountant who became a corporate trainer. Because in 1997, I realized who I really was. I wasn't a boring chartered accountant. Okay, I am a good chartered accountant. Believe me, it's not that I'm not professionally competent, but inside of me, there was another person bubbling to get out. And that person was trainer, a teacher and a trainer. So I realized that I had public speaking skills and that I could become a trainer. But then conventionally, people put human beings in straight jackets. Means you are a chartered accountant, then they've already got definitions for you. Like this is how you should be: silent, serious, contemplative, not talking, period. Don't talk. You're a chartered accountant and you speak so well. This is a comment that I keep getting regularly. Sir, you are a chartered accountant, but you're speaking so well. I don't know where this concept came that chartered accountants cannot speak well. I'm sorry, that's wrong. There are many chartered accountants who are extremely good public speakers, including me. But then, beyond public speaking, which is good, I wanted to become a corporate trainer. I found that I got my maximum energy. I hope you'll get what I'm saying. See, every one of us gets energy from what we do. And this energy is there, everything that we do, but some things that we do give us more energy than other things. So I found that my energy came from talking to people, sharing ideas, listening to people, and then maybe giving them some ideas on how they could move forward in whatever they really want to. This naturally took me to training. And as you can see, many corporates were found me good enough rather, to call again and again and again. So I had a very wonderful time being a trainer. And so who is the real Srikanth? I think it's neither of this, somewhere in between. So there are 2 of me. You have to factor that Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, not really, but there's one serious chartered accountant and there is a very, very communicative trainer. But if you want me to choose whom I would like to be forever, it would be the outspoken, extroverted trainer. So an introverted chartered accountant made himself an extroverted trainer. How did that happen? I'm sure you'd like to know. Can I go for the next question?
Yes, that's really very interesting. A transformative session in your life, like a journey from a CA to a public speaker. As you are already, well established as a corporate trainer and a leadership coach. We all know that, but we didn't know that you were a CA before, and there was some hidden talent within you, and it was bubbling to come out. And finally, you emerged victorious. And today, you are a CA as well, a corporate trainer and a leadership coach. And you have many feathers in your hat. That's really wonderful. I really like the way you put that. Now, if at all the youngsters out there would be asking you this question, so why did you take the leap into the corporate sector as a trainer? What would be your answer?
As I told you, I discovered my passion. Okay, let me make this point very clearly. We think at 18 that we know what we want to do for sure. I think that's not right. I think at 18, we really don't know what we want to do with our lives. But doesn't mean that we should keep on rolling around, not doing anything. So I think what I did was what I would suggest. Take up something, do it well. If you want to become an engineer, become a great engineer. If you want to become a doctor, become a great doctor. Whatever, chartered accountant, whatever. I mean, I'm only giving you some major streams of professions, but anything you want to be a good biochemist, be a great biochemist. Work at it for at least 3 years. In that process, by the time you're 20 or 25 or so, you discover your true passion, or rather, at least your talents come out. Your real talents come out. People admire you for something. You know who you are. This takes time. This is what I found in my life. So that happened for me at the age of 25 to 27. When I became a teacher, first I started as a teacher. teaching students. Then I became a faculty for the B schools where I went to teach finance. But there they found, sir, you're teaching finance, but it's so fun. You're making it so interesting. Then I thought, why not as well get into a time management or communication skill? And then I started reading books. And that's when the transformation, I'm sure. It wasn't a transformation at 25. I think there was something within me. It was like I would say it was like a pupa or a chrysalis. And at a certain time, the chrysalis sort of became the butterfly and I became a trainer. So that was around 26 to 27. And that's when I did my MS also from BITS, because I found that, being a chartered accountant made me sort of tagged as something. So I want to get out of that thing. So I did another qualification. So to explain to you why I did it, not because I didn't have anything better to do, but because I found that would add value to what I was trying to project myself as to corporates. So believe me, I used to go to corporate HRs. I used to do cold calling. In the mornings, I used to practice because that's my bread and butter. So around 3:30, I'll sit with a telephone and I became a marketing person. I just used to call people. I used to call HRs. I just call the corporate and ask for the HR. So I'll get somebody in training, senior manager, HR or whatever, training or whatever. Then she or he will ask me, who are you, what are you? Then somewhere it will come as a chartered accountant. Immediately, oh, you're a chartered accountant. Okay, we'll see if you have any finance programs and we'll get back to you. No, I want to do HR. They won't accept. You're a chartered accountant. You can't do HR. Sorry. So that's when it hit me that maybe I shouldn't project that I'm a chartered accountant. Then I did my MS and then I used to say I'm a consultant. And I mean, this is what happened. Believe me, once they let me into the training hall and one session got over, they forgot who I was. They wanted me for what I did in the training hall and they keep calling me back. So this is something I found. Once you prove yourself, you're good at something, qualifications don't really matter after that. It's what you deliver that matters. This is something I discovered when I was 28, 29. Yeah.
Superb, sir.
So
Thank you for sharing that. That
So
was
I have this
really
habit of talking too much. So kindly feel free to interrupt me with a question anytime you want.
sure, sir. You've done justice and you've shared that very well. You transparently, made it very clear to everyone that if you want something, just pursue it, give your all. Like you gave your all and you found that you got a place in the corporate sector and they began to love the way you took the workshops for them. So I have a question. You have been a topper all the while. You've always achieved, the top ranks. Now, what is the secret to that? Many of the young students out there would want to know how to top it, how to be the first ranker.
Don't try. That's the point. Love what you're doing. Don't do that. The minute you say, I want to be a topper, you don't do it. Sorry. See, it's like the difference between possibly Chatur and what is that? What was Amir Khan's name in that movie? And no, two names now he had. So you remember Three Idiots. So don't try to be something great. Float. Do the best you ever can. Love what you're doing. If you're not loving what you're doing, you cannot excel at it. I see a lot of people who join engineering or whatever they want to do. They want to be toppers, but they don't love what they're doing. Believe me, when I was doing my chartered accountancy course, I loved what I was doing. So the subjects became relevant to me. So I could read. I know this is boring. I know this doesn't answer anybody's question, but this is it. You cannot excel at something that you do not love doing. Am I making a point here or am I confusing you, madam?
No, you are very true because I could resonate with what you're sharing. Until you love something, then only you're going to excel in it.
I've earned a lot of money. Believe me, I'm pretty well off. I'm not 58, I'm pretty well off. But I've not worked even one day in my life. How? Because what I did was something I loved doing. So how can you call that work? I mean, can you buy into this philosophy? Then believe me, you will excel automatically. But the minute you think you're doing something boring, it's work, but somehow I have to become great, you are Chatur, struggling, trying hard. You should float and you should love. Then automatically you will do whatever you'll excel. Becoming excellent will be a habit with you after some time. See, I got All India rank 4 times. So once you do it, it will be natural for you. Believe me when I say this. But first you have to love what you're doing and understand it deeply. See, every subject that I studied, I understood what is it for, how is it connecting with my future as a chartered accountant or accountant. And then, so what is the essence of this knowledge? Then I'll acquire that knowledge. Automatically, the paper setter also needs to know whether I know that. So automatically, I used to get marks. I'm sorry if I'm complicating things, but there's no simple, easy, motivational answer which says, keep on repeating to yourself, I can do it, I can do it. I mean, yes, self-talk works. It's done work for me a lot. Sometimes, you feel depressed. Sometimes, you feel really, all of us are human. And we ask ourselves, can I do it? Is it possible for me? That's when you need self-talk. That's when you need to tell yourself, you can do it. You can do it. And that has to be inside the heart, not posting it out to every. I've seen a lot of people go around, even in CA students, they go around saying, Mr. Srikanth, I'm going to get a rank. Oh, really? Why are you telling that to me? Do it. Don't tell, do it. And tell to yourself. Keep on talking to yourself. Who else will talk to you? Tell me. Only your mother can talk to you freely. Other than mother, who else can talk to you? My mother was a great support, believe me. I want to share that now. Sometimes, I used to be dejected and depressed. And the only person who ever used to listen to me was my mother. After my mother, it's me. I talk to myself. And I keep giving myself, nobody else can do it for you, madam. I hope. So be your own best friend and be your own best motivator. Okay? If you're waiting for somebody else to permit you to live your life, boss, you're not living your life. That's it. Go on.
Excellent, excellent, brilliant. And hats off to you for that wonderful empowerment that you gave us just now. The self-talk, the positive self-talk. And as you mentioned, the mother as well. You've given due respect to your mom and to all the moms in the world who stand by their children at the right time. That's
correct. Every mother I salute at this point. My mother passed away last year at the age of 85. But then she had done enough for me. So she lives in my heart. Standing next to her. And I'll be thinking of doing, so much as a chartered accountant. And then I'll keep telling her what all. Then she will listen to me quietly. She'll cut brinjal and she'll talk to listen to me. Han beta, han beta. And then at one point in time, I got very excited and I told her, Ma, they think I'm breaking stones on the mountainside. They don't know. I'm breaking the mountain. Can I repeat this? Ma, they think I'm breaking stones on the mountainside. No, I'm breaking the mountain. But only I know that I'm doing it. Nobody else knows that.
Wow.
Okay, that's it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, you've been a very good student, as we all know that. I'd like to ask you, have you ever been punished by your teachers for being naughty in class? What kind of a schooling you had? If you can take us down memory lane and share something about your younger age as a young child, like below the age of 30.
You asked a very nice question that takes me back to my schooling. I had a wonderful school. I studied in a school. I did what was known as ISC, which is sort of the thing. Above CBSE, above state board in those days. So, and ISC was tough, no doubt. And I was very poor in maths. And I was very, science was also not my forte. Biology I loved, but physics and chemistry are still close books to me. Though I read a lot of Dawkins, though I read a lot of, non-fiction science authors, still science is a closed book. Stephen Hawking or Richard Dawkins, but still science is a closed book to me. Point is, yes, I wasn't a good student till 15 years. The man who now you are saying got all India rank and all, till 15 he used to flunk. And my headmaster had only two options for me. There were two canes. There was a big cane and a small cane. So the option was, Srikanth, you want to take the big cane or the small cane? Okay. And intelligent people will take the big cane because he will hit less hard. I've answered your question. And my father got so frustrated with me that he told my mother, your son is useless. Your son is good for nothing. But what to do? He is my son. I will get him 2 buffaloes. Let him graze it and earn a livelihood. So my mother started crying. My father walked off. He got into the car and went to he was also practicing CA. So he went to office. Then I just went off. Then in the evening, he came home. 5 p.m. he gets down from the car. Then he comes in. And then my mother is standing there waiting with a cup of coffee as usual. I'm next to her. I come because I've been roaming with my friends and I come back and then I went near her and I started whispering. Then he asked, hey, what does your son want? No, you told him you will get him 2 buffaloes. Now he is asking when you will get it for him. This point is, at that time itself I calculated 2 buffaloes. Okay, maybe something can be done, more buffaloes. Okay, maybe even a dairy farm. What? I hope you get the attitude now. But yes, I wasn't a good student till 15. At 15, what happened? Something happened. I realized that maybe CA is where I have to be because I need to realization stuck that I need to earn a livelihood. And then my grandfather called me and he said, Srikanth, come here. don't worry. Whatever you do in your life, even if my grandson is a sweeper, no problem. Don't underestimate that. But he should be the best sweeper in the city. This was my grandfather. So that motivated me. And there were other mentors also, neighbors who mentored me, who gave me confidence, who said, you are a good boy, you can do it. I think those mentors make a big difference in our lives. Finding the right mentors at the right age. If you find somebody who's not successful, I think it's not because he's not capable, but because they didn't have the right mentors at the right time. Luckily for me, I got the right mentors, not teachers, mentors who talked to me, who allowed me to share my angst and then give me a pat my shoulder, hold, grip me and say, you can do it. I think that I remember one person, his name was Mr. Mahadevan, whose son and I were good friends. Mr. Mahadevan called me once and said, Srikanth, you can do it. You are not the ruffian that everybody is saying you are. You are a very, very intelligent boy. So something happened and I started becoming academically good. I mean,
Excellent, sir. You've spoken about mentorship, how one should mentor, the others, especially the ones who are less successful. They should get the mentor at the right time. I really
personally,
agree.
I've mentored more than 20 people. Mentoring, coaching, alag hai. I'm talking about mentoring. Mentoring is where you are totally connected with that person and you are willing to be whatever it is for him. Whereas coaching is like you just help him to go through a certain phase in his life, help him to achieve what he wants to do, and you are out of his life. But mentors are for lifetime. In fact, partners of Ernst and Young, strategic managers in large corporates are my mentees. They keep calling me even now and talking to me. So, yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant, sir. That's really nice. Thank you for sharing that. Now, I'd love to know your journey as a Toastmaster. How did you enter into this field? And you've been recognized very well by the US team with regard to Toastmasters. Now, how this happened and when?
Yeah, see, you'll be very surprised. By the time I heard about Toastmasters, I was about 15 years into corporate training, a well-recognized and well-paid corporate trainer. So it might surprise why I would even join Toastmasters, because when I joined Toastmasters, I had already known what's happening out there. But I met a lady called Nina John, who was in charge of Toastmasters in this part of the world. So she was my mentor, honestly. In Toastmasters, she was my mentor. And so she said, why don't you come and see? I went there. I found there were people in Toastmasters who could make me better. So I joined Toastmasters. And since, believe me, the time I joined, I'm already a good speaker. I hope the icebreaker was a wow. So the icebreaker is when they just come there, they're not able to speak, they stammer and they go. The icebreaker was it. So Nina said, okay, then I became the third president of the Chennai Toastmasters Club. The premier club in Chennai, I became the president. So actually, seriously, I don't know why I joined Toastmasters, but believe me, Toastmasters helped me to say I was in exposition. It helped me to polish myself better and make my delivery. For example, I had this problem of speaking a little fast. I hope you noticed that. And so Toastmasters helped me to consciously slow down and make my point well. So these things happened. Okay. So that's regarding Toastmasters. But then, since I'm addressing a lot of youngsters out there through you, I make this point very vehemently. If you feel you want to be a good public speaker, if you have stage fright, if you have a fear that you cannot speak, just join Toastmasters, go through the pathways. Believe me, within a year, you would be so confident, you would be standing in front of an audience of 100 people and boldly speaking. This is an assurance I can give you as regarding Toastmasters.
Wow, that's really great, sir. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you very much. As a Rotarian and a Freemason, what would you like to share that journey as well, and what you have contributed with regard to these two areas?
See, Rotary was more as a social thing, like just go and be there and all that. But Freemason is something different. Masonry, Freemasons are a bit secretive organization, no doubt. But we are an organization that attracts good people and tries to make them better. So it's a spiritual and moral journey that a man makes when he becomes a Mason. I became a Mason in 2000, and today I've almost completed 24 years as a Mason. And the point here is Masonry helps you to grow. So Masonry is one institution that further polished me and made me, see, going beyond financial and, success, you become a better human being when you become a Mason. You learn what is charity. You learn what is brotherly love. You learn to truly empathize with somebody. I learned this from Masonry. We also do a lot of charitable work. So I also feel that being a Mason helps me to give back to society, because after all the wealth I got came from society. Now I need to give back. So that's something I do. So yeah, that's about it.
That's great. So very interesting. You've conducted more than 2,500 workshops and you have transformed the lives of at least 25,000 people. More than that, I guess, So
It
how
must be more, because that was the
more than that,
slightly dated.
yes.
Yeah.
So how did you manage to do all of this, and what is the easiest technique that you follow in your workshops? And what is the response of all the people who participate? They could be students, corporate executives, etc. I mean, how do you conduct it, and what is the response that you get from them? Are you still in touch with a few of them?
Yeah, as I told, yeah, regarding being in touch with a few of them, many of them keep communicating with me. They are with me on LinkedIn, and they follow me on Facebook and all that. And they come to me whenever. That's there. That is always there. But see, much of it was corporate training, where these people are sent by HR to attend a program based on their perceived. They do something called TNA, training needs analysis. So most of the people who came were basically introverted. Their communication skills weren't good, so they weren't extroverted. So the idea was to make them better, or maybe improve their negotiation skills. Each program has a goal. So one thing I always used to do was have easily about half 2 hours talk with the HR manager or the supervising manager who's commissioning this program. And I want to find out, hey, at the end of this exercise, what do you want these guys to do? I mean, what's your goal? If that goal is not clear, then whatever I do, it'll be a feel good, but nothing else will happen. So then we arrive at 2 or 3 important goals. These things should happen. After the end of this workshop, these guys should do this, and not more than 3. Then I structure my program based on that, and I structure my activities based on that. So that is regarding pre-planning. On the date, I'm there well in time, and I go a little 1 hour early. Because sometimes you get to meet the participants when they are casual and relaxed. They don't have that feeling that, hey, this guy is a trainer, I am a trainee. So I shake hands with them, I talk to them. There are no strangers in our life, only friends we have not met before. So I make friends in that audience. And once these friends go and sit out there in the audience, they are my friends there. They aren't here to be trained. They are my friends, and I'm sharing thoughts with them. Then I start the topic. I do have structure, but I like to be unstructured in a structured way. So somewhere I make them talk. And I keep telling them, boss, this is not about me talking to you. This is about you telling me what it is all about. What do you think? Do you think communication is relevant? Do you think it's good to? Is there any need? After all, you guys are all great engineers. The company doesn't hire you because you're communicators. Only for marketing, you need communication. Why do you guys engineers need communication? Immediately they will start countering me and say, no, Srikanth, it's not like that. We need to come. Oh, really? You feel that you need to communicate? Okay. Would you like to know how you can communicate? Great. Yeah, that's why we are here. So shall I now tell you how to do that? That's how we segue into the program. You asked me for a technique, I gave you a technique.
Excellent. So that's really nice. And I could visualize myself sitting in one of your classes and, getting to know how you do it. That's really nice. You so vividly
Be friendly
explained.
with the audience. Don't see. I don't know if you've been. I've also done some amateur acting. See what happens in a stage is there are 3 walls, right? There are 3 walls behind you on a stage, and there's a 4th wall, which consciously the actor builds between him and the audience. Now, a good trainer and a good actor breaks that wall. It's called breaking the 4th wall.
Wow.
If only you can break the 4th wall, that's it. No audience, no actor. We are all one. And then the learning, then the knowledge transfer starts. And at the end of the day, they don't even know that it's 6 o'clock. They don't even know what time it is.
That's beautiful. That's really nice. Very interesting. Break the 4th wall. I like this concept. That's
That's why I'm sharing. Yeah. So I thought something useful for people who are listening. Then it needs some, not training. I don't think it's about breaking the 4th wall is not training. It's an attitude. You develop that attitude, then there is no audience anymore. They're all friends out there. You're talking to them. That's it.
That's really nice. I really like the energy levels that you have. I like the positive vibes that you're sharing with us. Thank you so much, sir. That's really great. So now I'd like.
If you take away all my money, as of now, whatever bank balance, assets, I'll give it. But keep the energy back with me. Wow. I will recreate everything in the next 10 years. The entire wealth, the entire thing I'll recreate in the next 10 years. It's the energy that's more important. You take away everything from me.
Wow, I really like this. It's
I hope I
very
made the
inspiring.
point.
It's very inspiring. It could be like a great message for the others. In case they
I
lose
hope it is.
everything, they still have the positivity within them, the energy within
Correct.
them, the attitude, the confidence level that they could rebuild and again
Correct.
establish themselves. That's great. Brilliant, brilliant. I
I
love
think
it.
that's the secret of my life also. I'm not worried about anything because everything goes, I can again do it.
I mean,
Yeah.
that is the power of resilience that you have. Rising back from the ashes again, rising back
Correct.
like a phoenix.
It happened a couple of times in my life. When for example, the minute I finished CA, I was hired by a firm called A.F. Ferguson. So I decided I'll go to Delhi and I'll become a big shot in national level. And all sort of things I decided. Then I took the train and I went to Delhi. 6 months later, I came back because I couldn't handle the weather, cold. I couldn't handle the language, etc., etc. So that was, yeah. And that is when I needed all the energy in me to make me get up again and start where I left off.
Super. So that's really nice. Thank you for sharing all of that so transparently and genuinely. Thank you so much. Would like to know about your interest in movies. Like, what do you learn from movies, or do you watch movies or not at all? Maybe, if at all, yes. What do you learn from the
I'm
movies? What kind of movies you could suggest for the viewers?
You're talking to the ultimate movie buff. I
Wow.
watch easily about 10 to 15 movies. You name the director, I would have seen Ilya Kazan. You name it, Tarantino, of course. Whatever. I love all the movies and I watch movies continuously. And to begin with, I'm a voracious reader. In a month, I read about 6 books. Okay. And I have a library of 23,000 books. I wish
Wow.
I could have taken you to my library is in the second floor of this building. I wish I wanted to really sit in the library and take this interview so that you would have seen my bookshelves. So point is, I feel today at post 50, I feel movies are far better than books. I've read a book in the past. For example, take Dune. Dune is a classic science fiction novel. If recently there was a movie, not Dune. Dune, there was a movie. Frank Herbert's, it's a very old novel by Frank Herbert. Nobody read it. It's a classic. Nobody reads it. It's boring. But the movie is so beautiful. And if you've seen the movie, you will not have to read the novel. Point I'm making here is movies can say far more than books. And I think for the new millennial generation, movies are going to be a great way to learn. And in my workshops, I use movies to teach concepts. For example, there's a movie called Night at the Museum. Have you seen that movie? I'm sure. Heard of it? There's a part 2. I've used that movie to teach leadership to people. How a person joins an organization and is mentored into becoming a top leader. That's a movie. It's hidden in that movie. You need to watch the movie 2 or 3 times and then suddenly the learning part comes out. But otherwise also, movies are great entertainment. Movies are great, period. I love movies.
Thank you,
I
sir.
mean, you
Thank you
name
for sharing.
any director, I would have seen at least 2 of his movies. Okay. But I don't watch crap. I'm sorry. I watch only good movies. Sorry. Please don't ask me about popular movies. I don't. What I watch is all class movies. Like, okay, if somebody wants to watch a movie and grow, then I would strongly suggest. I mean, there are so many movies like that. Any movie could teach you something. Can I make a point here? It's not about what you see. It's about how you see it. So you can take a lesson from anything in life. You see, okay, by now you know that I come from a state called Tamil Nadu in India. So we speak a language called Tamil. And there is a famous poet in Tamil. I'm sure you've heard of him. Maybe you've not. This gentleman is called Thiruvalluvar. Have you heard of him?
Yes,
His
sir.
statue is there in Kanyakumari. It's a 133 feet statue. That 133 feet statue, why is it 133? Because the book has 133 chapters in Tirukural. And one Tirukural I want to quote here. Epporul, Tanmai Tayinum, Apporul, மெய்ப்பொருள் காண்பது அறிவு. Okay, எப்பொருள் தன்மை தாயினும். What it means is anything, whatever it may be, the meaning comes from it, not from the content, but from the perspective that you bring to it. Am I making sense here? Anything, whatever you see, a movie, a book that you read, any crap, the meaning from it does not come from its content, but from the perspective that you bring to it. So intelligent people bring a perspective, they learn. Others simply look at it and don't see what it is and they move on. So I think movies are like that. So there is a lot of learning in movies. I mean, don't even start me on that. That's a topic by itself.
Yes, I get that. Thank you for sharing all of that. Thank you so much. So now what we've noticed amongst the youth of today, they have this term depression. Anything they say depression. Now, these youngsters, they always focus on this word depression. I'm in depression, I'm in depression, and they forget their responsibilities. So what would you like to talk about with regard to depression?
See, I may not have mentioned to you, I'm also an MSc in psychology. I recently, around 55, I decided to add on a qualification and I did my MSc in psychology. So this question needs a careful answer because, there is something called clinical depression. Srikanth, when he was 15 years old, had a lot of depression, not depression, unhappiness. He felt that nobody was understanding him and everybody was thinking that he was useless. At that time, these mentors were the only people who said, we understand you. Can we bring more and more such people into the world who would listen to these people, understand them, and then maybe slowly help them to get out of that and find a meaning for their life? Once you realize what is the meaning or purpose of your life, believe me, no more depression, you will start doing it. This is my feeling. So
Excellent.
let's hope and pray these youngsters would find such mentors and in fact, Swami Vivekananda, in his famous quotation, arise, awake, stop not. He actually paraphrased from the Kathopanishad. The Kathopanishad actually says, Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapya Varan Nibodhata. It actually says Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapya Varan Nibodhata. It actually means arise, awake, and find the right mentors to take you further. Prapya Varan Nibodhata. Go to the right mentors and learn. If only the youngsters of today, instead of navel gazing and getting into themselves, they start looking around for mentors. They'll find a lot of mentors are available for them. And then they can slowly get out of this. And we'll pray that we'll pray that nobody should be depressed in this world.
That's really nice. Pray that we don't have people who suffer from depression or from sadness. Every one of you have the potential within you to be a better version of yourself. So just seek out the right
Joy
kind of
is your
people in your life.
birthright. Happiness is your birthright.
Wow.
It is your birthright. Take it. Nobody else has to give you permission to be happy.
Wow. That's great.
It is your
Wonderful.
birthright.
I love this. I really like this, sir.
Yes, but unfortunately, what we do, we take our happiness, and I give this example in a different way. See, there was a boy called Ramu. His mother made a beautiful chapati and gave it to him, right? Then this boy, he tore the chapati, gave one to his mother, one piece to his father, one to the next door neighbor. He kept giving. Finally, his chapati was gone. And then this boy starts crying and he says, my chapati is gone, my chapati is gone. His chapati, he gave it to other people. See, this is a metaphorical story. The chapati is your happiness. You are breaking it and giving it to your sister, brother, enemies. See, we give a major portion of that chapati to our enemies. And then we say, I'm unhappy because, I'm not like, take all the pieces back. Take charge of your own chapati.
Nice. That's a beautiful example. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, if people get to understand what you've shared, they really will take their life forward. They will be responsible for what they have within them, not to overdo things in their life. To be responsible for their own happiness. And happiness is our birthright and no one can take it away. That's beautiful, sir.
And you don't need anybody's permission to be happy.
Yeah, that's true. No one's permission to be happy. That's really nice.
I can be happy on my own. Why should I be happy only if this happens or that happens?
Sure. Really, I like that. That's a big takeaway for me. Personally, thank you so much. That's really nice. Thank you so much, sir. Now, so we've also seen this, that there's something called as procrastination amongst many of us. Now, this has really brought down, people in their professional zone, or maybe students with their studies, or maybe in families. Because of procrastination, many things have been delayed, or maybe they have lost themselves to procrastination. And then they play the victim card. Now, how would you define this, or how would you describe this in your own words? How would you put it out for all of us?
I conduct a one-day workshop on time management. And the last session is procrastination. By then I prepare them and all that. So that's what I'm trying to tell you here is that's about an hour and a half of explanation. But quickly, procrastination happens for certain specific reasons. First, it's boring. Boring things we don't do. Okay, 2, it's too huge and I don't know where to start. Okay, and lastly, 3, I don't know how to do it, but I want to do it. So first, it's boring. Make it interesting. For example, I'm a visiting professor in many universities and B schools. So one of the most boring things in the world is correcting papers. So I keep procrastinating. So what I do, I take chunk it. I decide for the next 1 hour, you'll do 5 papers. For the next 1 hour, you'll do. And then I listen to music while I do it or make it somehow interesting. One, I mean, I'm giving an example here. Make it interesting for you. Walking is one of the most difficult things for me, but I walk and I make it fun. I don't walk in a specific place. I choose different walking routes so that the walking becomes fun. So my half an hour or 45 minutes of walking becomes fun. So make it fun. And sometimes it's too big. We don't know where to start, but make that first beginning. Okay. Start doing it. Suddenly you'll find you're into it and going on. And lastly, you don't know how to do it. Therefore, instead of going and asking somebody how to do it, we keep on pushing it. I found it happen a lot. Then finally they come to me and say, hey, why did you not do it, man? No, sir, this one part I don't know how to do. Hey, you could have come and asked me. Na, you could have asked me, I would have told you. Then I'll explain to them. Once that one single link is explained, they'll do it all. This seems to be some of the practical things. But yeah, procrastination happens because it's too big and I don't know where to start. That's usually when I postpone. Therefore, I take it up, I chunk it, I do something called chunking, breaking it up into small pieces, then swallowing it one piece at a time. And it works for me. It works.
Thank you, sir, for sharing that. Thank you for making it very clear, like, break it up into smaller bits or maybe seek the right kind of people around you or try to come out of that zone from procrastination, jump out of the zone of procrastination and begin to work. Sir, you've been connected to your mom very closely and you just lost her last year. That's what you said. So I think you had a wonderful bond with her, I believe. I want you to share a message to all the youngsters to respect their parents. Now, there are many youngsters they're begun to earn now. They've entered into that zone of earning and enjoying themselves and thinking only about themselves. And they forget the sacrifice that their mother or father has, done for them all through these years to bring them to that level. So one message from you being a good son to your mom and speaking about her so proudly. And, you shared that so nicely. So I thought you would be the right person to share your thoughts and views or maybe give a suggestion to our youngsters how to give back to their parents than to give back to the community or show off in the society that you are doing this and that. First, it is charity at home and then out. How would you describe and define this?
I don't know how to tell this because I thought it was very obvious. Something very obvious. Our country has come to a stage when something that's so fundamentally obvious has become something that needs to be stressed. But it's okay, I'll do that. I just want you to think of every one of you here listening to me. 9 months your mother bore you. 9 months. The ladies here will understand what I'm talking about. A man can never understand the pain that she underwent, the horror of giving birth to a child. She went through it and you were born. Period. What more do you want? What more do you want to be a slave for that lady for a lifetime? Thereafter, she bathed you when you were naked. She clothed you. She fed you when you were hungry. She knew when you were hungry. Even you didn't know. She knew. And she fed you. And then every dream of hers, morning to night, was about you. And she lived a life for you. And then, I mean, how can you even say, even if she is going to hit you, even if my mother were to ask me to drink poison, I will drink it, yeah. Because after all, she has the right to do it. She gave me the food that made me what I am, life. She can also take that life. If you think like that, okay, that may be too extreme, but still, do we see somebody helps you to get into a train? Will you not thank him? Here are two people who have been with you the whole life. Right. You have to go to America, you go to Canada, you're busy. Do something to take care of them. And sometimes, my father who's 84 years old, all he needs is half an hour or 1 hour of my time. And I go there every day, every week I go there. I sit with him, preferably 3 times a week. I sit with him for 1 hour. Just listen to what he's saying. And Hanji, you are right. Appa, you know who you are. You are such a great person. Then I talk to him about some of the great things he did in his life. He feels happy. That is the only way we can repay. And friends, money cannot be equal to you. They don't want your money. They want you. And your presence. Okay, I'm in America. What do I do? Call them, talk to them. You got Zoom now. You got technology. Let your face be seen. That's all they're asking. Is that too much to give, sir? Madam, please, huh? Love your parents. Mata, Pita, then only Guru, then only God. That is our culture. Hmm? So, I mean, I don't want to go there, but think about it. We are born in a culture that fundamental respect to parents. And even God, we say Mata Pita. Matascha Parvati Devi, Pita Devo Maheshwara, Bandhava Seva Bhakta. So it is parenthood is something. So kindly let's not do this. Let's love our parents and be there. Yeah. Yes, madam.
Yes, sir. Excellent, sir. That you brought tears to my eyes when you shared that. It's really very nice. Thank you so much. That's
Thank
really
you, madam.
beautiful. So, my dear friends, you just take this beautiful suggestion from sir to take care of your parents in the right way. So that's now really nice. Thank you for sharing that with us. What is it that you love about S. Srikanth? What is it that you like about your own self? What do you admire in yourself?
Okay, a lot of things. But then there's a lot that's not good also. Okay, you don't know that. Obviously, here I would not give you the whole Srikanth. You're seeing only the good part, right? But then what I love about myself, I tell you, when I make a mistake, I'm ready to change. And I'm ready to, even at 58, if somebody says, Srikanth, this is not good, change. And if what he says is right, I change. I think that's the only good thing about me. And that's the only right thing about me. Everything else is whatever it is.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing. Now, sir, what is it that you love to leave behind as a legacy for all of us? Like one fine day, we are no more on this earth. Each one of us, we have our time limited on this earth, and then we all have to go back. So now, in what way should people remember S. Srikanth?
It's a good man. As a man who loved everybody. I mean, seriously, I've not thought about that, honestly. Legacy. See, my firm, I mean, nothing is a legacy. When you're gone, people still remember you. I don't know. It's the interactions you had with them, I think. And okay, maybe I'll write a book. Before I die, I'll write a book and be remembered by that.
Awesome. That's really nice. Thank you for sharing that. Now, so what about traveling? How many countries have you traveled, or how many parts of India, different states in India?
I've almost been all over India. There are only about a few Indian. The other day, I took the Indian map and tried to find out where I have not gone. And that's sort of 25% of the total places is what I have not gone. 75% of India, right up. I've been to Nagaland. There's a place called Mokukchung in Nagaland, Burma border. I've traveled all up to that place, everywhere. In south, of course, west, east. So I traveled all over India, Mera Bharat Mahan. And I've been there everywhere, test the ground and put on my head. And I wish I could do that in every part of my mother country, that I could roll on the sand of every part of my mother country, which I'm trying my best to do. Abroad, I like a voracious reader. I'm also a extraordinarily avid traveler. So I've been to many countries, except that I've not been to the Americas. I've traveled to Europe, Asia, most of Asia, Australia. Yeah, most of us. It's right. Most of these places I've gone. But again, the list it's still a work in progress. So it's going on. I love to travel. Travel widens the mind. We see new people, we see new cultures, and we realize that, okay, people are different. So it need not always be the same. Things like that.
Yes, thank you.
But one incident, I was in a place called Uzbekistan, Tashkent. From there, I was traveling to a place called Samarkand. When I traveled with a group of locals, they were Russian speaking Uzbekistanis. So they spoke in Russian and I spoke in English. But then luckily for us, Google was there. Google Translate was there. And you won't believe they were hardcore communists. I'm a free market capitalist. And we had a beautiful intellectual conversation. They will speak in Uzbekistan, like in Russian, and I'll speak in English and we had a very intellectual conversation on communism and free market capitalism. I learned from them, they learned from me, and so there are people are great. So and everybody is good. That's what I've learned from travel. All youngsters should somehow travel. I think that will change your mindset altogether. I've traveled to Sri Lanka and I found Chennai to be great people, nice people, friendly people. And so many things we hear. No? That's not true. When you go to the individual person, they are great. They are nice people as individuals. So, yeah.
That's really nice. Thank you so much. You You view the world in a very beautiful way. You love to connect with different people, learn from them, and share knowledge and expertise. That's wonderful. So that's great. Now, you at present are in Chennai. What is the best thing that you love about Chennai? What makes Chennai so special for you?
Everything. I mean, I don't know how to say. It's a place like where I was born. But then I'm developing. See, today, I'll be honest with you. It so happens my residence is in Chennai, but my real place of residence is the whole world. I've now become free to do that. So I think I'm not the right person to ask about Chennai because I'm slowly migrating to another city in Tamil Nadu called Coimbatore, where I have a house and I keep going in. So I think I'm slowly letting go of these geographical indications. I think so. You are seeing me at that stage of my life. So I'm unable to say something. So you know what Chennai is all about. Is that Chennai's got good things. Chennai's got bad things. It's hot. It's humid. We sweat a lot, and we got temples. Okay, if you ask me to pin down and say what I love about Chennai, it's temples. I'm a very ardent, religious person. So I love going to temples. There are a lot of great temples in Chennai, and I like to go there. That is the only answer I can give you. I mean, there are certain temples which are only in Chennai. So therefore, I like Chennai.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
You
I'm
asked
happy
that-
now.
you wanted an answer. I given my answer.
I'm happy now.
I'm unable to give an answer that's not honest or from the heart. I'm a Delhiite. I'm a Hyderabadi. I'm a Bangalorian.
I love that. That's really nice. I think all of us should think like that. We are all
Exactly.
Indians. And
We
then
are
if
all
you think the world at large, we are global citizens. Right?
I go to Ahmedabad, I dance the Garba. So that's it.
That's really interesting. Many of them would like to know, is Mr. S. Srikanth a risk taker or a calculated risk taker? I mean, there are two types of risk takers. One is like a casual risk taker, and one is a very calculated risk taker. Where do you come across?
I'm a calculated risk taker. I'm a calculated risk taker, and I have taken a lot of risks. For example, buying Maruti Suzuki in 2009 at 1,200 rupees was a calculated risk, but it was a risk nevertheless. But I wouldn't take a risk of buying Maruti Suzuki today when it's 13,600. I mean, sorry, yeah, 12,600. Yeah, 13,000. I wouldn't buy it now. So that way, I am a calculated risk taker. Yes, I do take risk, but
Yes, I understand that. So, are you the only child or do you have siblings as well?
I have two sisters who are younger to me. One is settled in the US and the other is in Chennai. She's a psychologist too.
Any good memories about your teacher?
Yeah, we had some great teachers. You come to the topic which I mean I can the person who taught me how to stand in front of an audience and talk and teach was Professor K.S. Anantaraman, my guru. I mean, he was it. Everything for me. I mean, so great memories. I've traveled with him all over India to conduct lectures and all that in these schools. And every evening, okay, I am not a teetotaler now. I was at that time. And so he wasn't a teetotaler. Let's leave it at that. And so evening after the classes are over, we will both take bath and then chill. And then he'll have his whiskeys and I will be sitting. And those 2.5 hours were with wisdom. I mean, so we used to enjoy those. My guru is also no more. He passed at the age of 92. And I didn't even die when my grandfather died. I didn't cry because I knew that life will pass away and I was philosophically ready for it. But when my guru died, I went into depression for 2 days and I was crying because the memories are too great. That is one teacher who was with me, and every teacher had something to give me and something to add to me. So I think if you say who is Srikanth, a portion of me would have come from this teacher, a portion would have come from. So I'm not original. I've been made by my teachers. They made me what I am today.
Really, I love this beautiful explanation. Beautiful explanation. Excellent, sir. So now we have a small segment called as the rapid fire round, which will take another 5 minutes. But before we enter into the rapid fire round, I would like you to give a message for all of us. What is the message from S. Srikanth to the entire world?
Okay. Can it be a quotation?
Yes, please.
Yeah, a train does not grow by going from one station to another. A tree grows by adding rings to itself. So don't just change, grow. Whatever you do in your life should be a meaning-making process so that the totality of your life should be something that people can see and understand. So be like a tree, grow by adding rings to yourself. Become larger and taller. Don't be a train, just moving from one station to another. So this is my message.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you so much. We have a small segment now called as the rapid fire round, where you will have to just answer in one word or maximum a sentence. It's a very short session. Thank you so much, sir. Dear friends, join us now on the small round called as the rapid fire round to get to know about the likes and dislikes.
After this, I would like to.
Yeah, sure. So, dear friends, we now like to go on to the small round called as the rapid fire round, which will take just another 5 minutes. Dear sir, your favorite month?
January.
Maybe know your birthday?
And it's a new beginning for life. Every year is a new beginning. I can change. I can become better.
Oh, that's great. Maybe know your birthday?
26/1/1966.
Okay, so you were born in the month of January, right?
Born in the month of January on the Republic Day.
Oh, wow. That's great. That's nice. Your
And
favorite
January is also a month, when on 31st December, I sit. Okay, it's a rapid fire. Go on. Yeah.
Your favorite color, sir?
Blue. Cool.
Yes. Your favorite number?
Actually, 8.
Your favorite breakfast?
Everything my wife makes.
Oh, that's nice. Is there anything that makes you angry?
I don't get angry nowadays. I've conquered my anger. But if at all I see somebody being false to themselves, I get a little angry. Yes.
Now, there's two things to choose from: assumption or expectation. If you have to choose between these two, which one would you choose?
I would not choose both. I would prefer the truth.
Great, I like that. Is it luxury or freedom? What is it?
Freedom.
Great, that's wonderful. That's great. How would you define the 24 hours for you? How it should be for you in just one word?
It's a gift from God. I have to use it.
How would you use
It's
it? Or how you want it to be?
Plan, execute, review, move on. It's a gift. You can't waste it.
That's really true. Very true. Very true. Do you believe in second chances?
Yes, I do.
A good mentor will always tell that you always have the next chance,
Definitely. Tomorrow is the best day of the rest of your lives.
Wow, great. That's beautiful. Excellent. So now you're a person with lots of experience. You have had a lot of exposure. You have met so many students, and at the same time, you have a big library with around about 26,000 books. That's what you've said, right? Now, where do you 23,000 books? Is it? Yeah, 23.
And growing.
To be very accurate and precise. So you have a vast library, and at the same time, you have a lot of experience. Where does one learn more, from experience or from books or from both?
Both. It's not fair to say only experience. Books are also needed because books contain experience of other people. So when you read that, you don't have to go through it yourself.
Yes, that's very true. You as a leadership coach, what is that one thing that you would focus on to improve in your clients, or maybe in your group when they're in front of you, the students or the corporate clients, or maybe the corporate employees, etc.? What is that one thing as a leadership coach you would focus on for them to build on?
I think it's communication, because everything begins there. Listening, of all the skills in communication, I think all of us should improve in listening. Automatically, life becomes more meaningful. I think listening is where we have to we should be deep listeners.
Very true. I like that. Interesting. Now, let's go on to the next question. One last question, and then we end up the session, sir. Are you a tea or a coffee person, or you love juice? What is it?
Actually, I'm from Chennai. I love filter coffee.
I get that. Yes.
So, okay, that's not Chennai. See, now I've got, okay. But then, yeah, we South Indians like filter coffee.
Yes, I get that, sir. So, one last question, and then we end. If you ever happen to meet the Almighty, and you were given a chance to ask him a question, what is the question that you would ask the Almighty?
Shall I tell you? I'll ask him if he has anything I can do for him. If he has anything to ask me, can I do something for you, is what I will ask God.
Brilliant. This is the best
What is
answer
there to
to
ask?
that question.
What is there to ask from him? Allah hai Malik. He knows everything. You'll ask him, Allah, is there anything I can do for you? Tell me. I'm a servant.
Excellent. Very nice. I really like that. You're very down to earth and humble. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your time. We had a wonderful time. We look forward to many more interactions with you. I didn't know
Thank
how
you.
the time flew. It was really very interesting. You kept me glued to my seat and very much connected to what you were saying. Thank you so much. Stay blessed and stay connected.
Wish all of you watching all the best. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Romba Nandri. Thank you.
Nandri. Nice. Dhanyavad.
Thank you, sir. My dear friends, with this, we come to an end to the International Fab Talks for today. If you like what the International Fab Talk team is doing, do us a favor, share this video with the right kind of people. You never know who may be inspired, who would really have that feeling within them that, yes, I have gained a lot from this beautiful session and what sir has just shared with us. Thank you so much for being a part of our journey. If you like what the International Fab Talk team is doing, stay connected with us. Like, comment, subscribe, and share to the International Fab Talks. And above all, don't forget to love yourself, protect your family, and of course, save the planet. Stay safe and stay connected. Thank you, sir.